Hello everybody, welcome to another video. I am Teacher Dio and let's get right into it. So today we will be talking about a very nice topic. I believe a lot of you have questions about it. I always see my students having questions about it, so I imagine that it's the same for everyone. It is not a difficult subject, however, I do believe that it is important to see a lot of different examples so that you can tell these expressions and these words apart, and also see in what ways they are similar and in what ways they're not. So as you may have seen from the title of this video, we will be talking about the words though, although, and the expression even though. Before we get started, obviously, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell button, and that way you will always get a notification every time that I post a new video, and that way you will never miss any new content. Well, for me to tell you the difference between these words, I think the best way is to take one step back and start with something very simple. How to use the word but. So I have here an example for you, and that example is going to show here on the screen. All the examples that I will give, you can follow them on the screen, and that should help you visualize everything. So the first sentence is, the theater is always empty. So the theater is always empty, but this weekend it was packed. The theater is always empty, but this weekend it was packed. That means that usually the theater is empty, and the theater being packed this weekend, it is something unusual. So there is a contrast in the information. The information I'm giving you, the theater was packed, shows something that would not be the natural conclusion from my previous sentence. We use the word though with the same idea. However, we use it in different ways, and it can be placed in different positions. So please compare this sentence to all these ones now. So the theater is always empty, though this weekend it was packed. The theater is always empty, though this weekend it was packed. The theater is always empty. This weekend, though, it was packed. The theater is always empty. This weekend, though, it was packed. Though the theater is always empty, this weekend it was packed. Though the theater is always empty, this weekend it was packed. The theater is always empty. This weekend it was packed though. The theater is always empty. This weekend it was packed though. So you can see here that this word though, it has the same function as the word but you can see here that it goes to so many different places. So you can place it in so many different ways in the sentence. I think the best way to learn how to use this word is to pay attention to the sound and how you read the sentence. So that's why I said all the sentences twice, so that you can hear the pauses. And I think this really helps, because one detail that's important about it is the punctuation. Sometimes you have to isolate it with a comma. Sometimes when you place it at the end, it goes with a comma before. In the beginning of a sentence, you usually don't place a comma there. So I just think it's very important that you pay very close attention to the punctuation of these sentences, because that will dictate how you read the sentences. And if you know how to read them, you don't need to memorize the punctuation, because you just know instinctively from when you stop to breathe, you know that is where you place a comma. So now that we know how to use the word though, we're going to explore the words although and even though. Although is used in similar situations. In every situation that you can use although, you can use the word though. But not in every situation that you use the word though, you can use the word although. That means the word though has more situations where you can use it. It has different positions, and although is a more restricted word. Some people say that although sounds more formal too, whereas though is more casual. So there is a difference in position, but also a difference in how it sounds. Although tends to sound a little more formal. Okay? So I'm going to give you a few sentences comparing though and although, and that way you can tell them apart. So here I have her boyfriend cheated on her. They made up though. Her boyfriend cheated on her. They made up though. So here we have some vocabulary that you might not be familiar with. Cheated on, it means she was betrayed. So imagine that she and her boyfriend, they are together, but her boyfriend goes and kisses or sleeps with another person without her consent, so it's not an open relationship. So she doesn't know that. He cheats on her. Okay, so and made up. So made up is the past of makeup. Makeup as an object is what you put on your face. So your blush, your lipstick, your mascara. But in this case, as a phrasal verb, to make up is to make peace. So they're back to good now. So everything is okay again. She forgave him. Okay, so they made up. They are not in conflict. So her boyfriend cheated on her. They made up though. Though her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. So here you can see the positions, yes. And now, although her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. Although her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. So here you can see that we only use although to introduce a sentence. You only use although to start a sentence, okay? So that gives a signal of what you are going to hear. There will be a contrast there, okay? So prepare yourself. We start a sentence with although. You cannot use although to end the sentence, okay? The next expression is even though. So I have here a very similar sentence. Even though her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. Even though her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. That means that contrary to what anybody would expect, this happened. So even though is more emphatic, this is the only difference. You use it similarly to though, but there's just more emphasis on how the contrast between the two sentences is unexpected, or how much emphasis you want to place in it. Okay? That's all. I have now a few more examples for you. and we will be comparing the sentences and the meanings in them. So, the phone woke me up, though it wasn't very loud. The phone woke me up, though it wasn't very loud. The phone woke me up. It wasn't very loud, though. The phone woke me up. It wasn't very loud, though. Though the phone woke me up, it wasn't very loud. These three sentences, they all have the same meaning, okay? We're placing the word in different places, but the meaning of the sentence, the spirit of the sentence is exactly the same. So you can choose how you want to say it. Just please remember to pay close attention to the punctuation of the sentence. Now, although the phone wasn't very loud, it woke me up. Although the phone wasn't very loud, it woke me up. Although the phone woke me up, it wasn't very loud. Although the phone woke me up, it wasn't very loud. Okay? And finally, we can say here, although she made up with her boyfriend, he cheated on her. Or, though she made up with her boyfriend, he cheated on her. And tell me if this sentence is the same as saying, though her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. Or, although her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. So please compare these two sentences. Although she made up with her boyfriend, he cheated on her, and although her boyfriend cheated on her, they made up. Are these sentences the same? What do you think? Well, hopefully you will have answered that the sentences are different, because in the first sentence, although she made up with her boyfriend, he cheated on her. This sentence here, it means that she forgave him for another mistake. Okay, we don't know what the mistake was or what the situation was, but they made up, they made peace. So they were okay again. And then he cheated on her. But on the second sentence, first he cheated on her, and her reaction to this was to make up, was to forgive. So after the cheating, she and he made up. Okay? So the difference here is the order of the events. Please pay a lot of attention to how you organize your sentence, because sometimes when you're telling a story, you can get confused very easily. It's just very easy to make a mistake, as you can see here. Other than that, I guess this is enough for today. I certainly hope that this video helped you understand. This is just part one of a series of videos about these words, so all these conjunctions and adverbs. You don't need to know the complicated names that they have, but it's important to know how to use these words, and this is what I hope to be covering in my next videos. If you have any suggestions, if you like this video, please leave a comment. Really helps me, it helps the channel as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. I hope you're having a nice day, and see ya. Ciao, ciao.